Hello, back to episode number 427 of the TEW Challenge Run. This is going to be Raw for week 2 of October 2023, as we continue the slow build to get the next pay-per-view for Raw, which will be Cyber Sunday. And yeah. Our main event tonight is a big 8-man tag team match as Cody Rhodes teams with all three members of the New Day to take on Imperium and the WWE Champion Drew McIntyre. We'll also see Chad Gable and Annie Ogogo facing off against Pretty Deadly, and a whole lot more, including, follow-up to that ending of last week's show. And it is announced that Raw's Week 4 episode of the show will be a Halloween Havoc TV special. So yeah, we're building towards that. That is where the big championship match between Xavier Woods and Drew McIntyre will take place, amongst others. So without any more further ado, let's jump straight into the show. We open up the show with Sasha Banks. She comes out. She says, so, I've got a bit of a bone to pick, why I'm out here. 3 weeks since losing your championship is a long time to, sit back and wait and, scheme. And I did a lot about waiting and scheming after Rhea Ripley came to Unforgiven and took my WWE Women's Championship. Now, Rhea, you say you're the most dominant woman here on Raw, and that may be true because, you took care of me, you took care of Charlotte, you took care of Becky. But that doesn't mean I can't beat you, okay? Because you've pissed off a lot of women during your time here on Raw, and there's a whole list of girls back there that are afraid to take the fight to you and bring you down a peg or two on this ladder. And sure, I may have come up short back at WrestleMania. You put me down, I lost to you that night. But I'm going to get back up, and I'm going to get back that championship that you stole from me. Out comes Bayley. Bayley goes, Sasha Banks, my good friend, It's been a long time no see, Sasha, how you doing? He goes, what do you want, Bayley? She goes, well, it's... I couldn't help but see last week, me and Rhea were in the main event of Raw, because of course we were, because I'm, main event star. And Rhea came up to get lucky. She got lucky against me last week. And then she tried to, do to me what she did to you, except she didn't do it to me because I'm better than you, Sasha. But then you came to my aid. Okay, you and Charlotte came running out here and you saved me. Now I know I was the best friend you're ever going to have. Your career was never as good once you left my side. But don't you think it's a bit weird, Sasha, that after all these years for you to try and weasel your way back into being my best friend? And Sasha goes, what? Oh, Bayley, you think that... you think that I did what I did last week to help you? Let me get one thing straight to your head, Bayley. Okay? I didn't do what I did last week for you. I did it for me. I did it for that WWE Women's Championship. My WWE Women's Championship. You just happened to be the body in the way. And now you're out of the way since, Rhea beat you last week. So now there's nobody else standing in my way to reclaim my title. Charlotte comes out. She goes, ladies, relax. I see, a lot of bickering out here. Quite frankly, it's quite childish. What are you two going to do, keep this up and go backstage and, scream on the floor? Well, enough about you two. Let's talk about me. Because, quite frankly, Rhea Ripley, she earned my respect. How many times in my illustrious career have you seen me get laid out and needing medical attention? How many times have you seen me looking weak like that, huh? Never. Okay, so for Rhea Ripley to, force me out of action and make me miss 2 weeks of TV, that's a big deal. That's something I'm sure a lot of people in this division wish they could do to me at the flick of a finger. But it's not, because I want my title back. Sasha, you come out here and you talk about how you need to get a rematch for your championship. Bitch, I never got my rematch for my championship after I lost it to you back at Money in the Bank, which, by the way, wouldn't happen if you were to go one-on-one now. Sasha goes, okay, so you want to get a championship rematch, huh? Why don't you do like me? Why don't we try and earn it? Okay. And then they start arguing. Bayley gets in, Ariana Grace in the ring, and she stands up. She goes, ladies, stop fighting. Okay? The only thing that matters more than being champion is that you're a champion in your own heart. And if you're a champion in your own heart, that means you're going to have the fire and the desire to win. And Charlotte and Sasha just sort of like look at her, side-eye her, and then just continue speaking. And then Ariana sort of looks around awkwardly, jumps back in, and she goes, so if you two want to settle things, there's a better ways to do it than to fight, because at the end, whoever is the rightful champion will rise up the ranks, and they'll be the ones to face Rhea Ripley, and then they'll be... And Sasha's like, why don't you just shut up? Okay? Well, since when did you start learning to talk, anyway? So, you want to prove that, me and Charlotte, and even Bayley are extra line for a championship opportunity, huh? I see you two in the ring, huh? Why don't you team up tonight to face me, right now? And then Ava goes, well, we'd love to, Sasha. We haven't even got a partner. And she sort of just awkwardly turns to Bayley, and she goes, guess it's your lucky day, Bayley. She goes, what? It's always my lucky day, ding dong. Hello, dummy, what are you saying? She goes, just go stand in my corner. And then the opening match gets underway. It's Ariana Grace and Ava Raine against Sasha and Bayley. Gets an 80, and it is Sasha and Bayley pick up the win. Sasha submits Ariana Grace with a bank statement in 8:52. 87 for Bayley, 93 for Sasha, 62 for 8, and a 51 for Ariana. Bayley, I imagine, barely gets tagged in. She just stood there, like just watching while Sasha does all the work, basically, and picked up the win. But after the match is a different story, because she gets into the ring and she starts celebrating like she won the whole thing. She's like, yeah, I won, me. And Sasha like snaps her hand and goes, bitch, what, you didn't even do anything, okay? Huh? Charlotte gets into the ring and she also starts arguing with Sasha and Bayley. Out comes Rhea Ripley. She goes, look at this. There are women fighting over me. I'm flattered, I really am, but... You see, Mommy, she's got more important things on her plate right now than to worry about what you three has-beens are doing. You see, I'm glad you're all back, because this division could use more bodies for me to kill when the time is right. But as for giving any of you a championship match, none of you deserve it. I destroyed all three of you in championship matches, and I'll do it again to whoever the next one of you free to step up is. No, Bayley, I got my win over you. That's all I need. I don't need to defend against you again. The horsewomen, the 4 pillars of women's empowerment and women's superstardom and the women's revolution here in WWE are a thing of the past. Every single one of them down at my feet with my boot on top of their chest and my title above my head. Out comes Shayna and Carmella. And Shayna goes, Rhea, you're focusing your attention to the wrong woman. Because you have been targeting Sasha and Bayley and Charlotte for so long now, but you're overlooking me until last week, when I tried to get myself a championship match and you came out and cost us those Smack Team Tag Team titles, huh? What is that one about? She goes, look, Shayna, you're tough. I'd love to fight someone like you again. But as for right now, I need to see more out of you before you think you can start running with the big dogs here in this division, the women's champion, okay? Because I'll put you down like I put every single person down before you, and I will every single person after you, okay? Now come Tatum and Ivy, former tag team champions. And Tatum goes, well, Rhea, you seem to have a thing of, overlooking competition in the women's division, but there's plenty of competition around here. You're just not really looking for it. Of course, yes, Shayna Baszler, one of the most dangerous women on the division. You got 3 living legends. So that's, enough challenges right there. But then you've got to factor in people like us, people like me and Ivy, girls like Roxy, that are still scratching and clawing to get that first opportunity to become Women's World Champion. And Shayna goes, who invited you girls out here, huh? In fact, I'm so pissed I want a match tonight. I want a match right now, and one of you two looks like the perfect opponent for me. And then Tatum goes, well, sure, I'll fight you. with the women's division heating up, who knows what a win on Raw could do. And then we go straight into Shayna Baszler against Ian Paxley. Gets a 77. Shayna wins by pinfall in 13:25. 72 for Tatum, 79 for Shayna. Yeah, not too shabby at all. We then got backstage to Titus World Records. And Titus walks in with R-Truth, Billy Kay, Shanky, and Elias. And Kathy goes, Titus, last week, they're calling it the upset. The greatest upset in the history of Raw. When your boy Slim Shanky, R-Truth, pinned AJ Styles and Finn Balor. And Titus goes, Kathy Kelly, it was an upset to a lot of people. It was an upset to you. It was an upset to AJ. It was an upset to Finn. It was an upset to basically the entire WWE universe. But I had faith in my boys, okay? Because us here at Titus World Records don't accept mediocrity. We only accept the best. And it's about time now. Our focus is on tag team glory. No more messing around with silly green belts. We can let Christian go back and play around with that championship if he thinks he's the real champion. We are going to become real champions. So Imperium, they better watch their back. Because soon, those championships are going to turn into disc jockeys for Titus World Records. And then they turn around and they bump face to face with the Anime boys. Specifically just Dio and Manny, actually. And they go, whoa, relax. They go, we don't mean pain, there's a lot of respect here between us and our former allies. We helped save the world together, guys. Which is why I know it comes from a place of love when I tell you this. You're not next in line for a Raw Tag Team Championship match. We are. Huh? You look at those belts as evidence of your rise in the company and validation for this Titus World Records group you've got going on here. But for us and Dio, they could mean so much more. And that is more power to help fend off the greatest threats the WWE universe has ever known. So, it's gonna be a tough ask to beat such an informed monster like Shanky. I hear he's got a match tonight. We actually don't because we're watching Selena and Saray. But for a tag team title shot soon, Titus World Records, My Wrestling Academia. We'll see you there. We then cut backstage. Imperium are training. Now Gunn is shouting out. He goes, boys, you are the Raw Tag Team Champions. Listen to what you just heard, huh? The state of this tag team division is a disgrace. Those two teams talking about fighting it out for a tag team opportunity. Whichever one of those teams wins and gets the shot at you better embarrass them in our ring. And then they're like, yes, Gunther. He goes, and as for me, tonight, Xavier Woods and the New Day and Cody Rhodes think they can step to Imperium. Well, no, because tonight is our first step on championship glory. You are already the tag team champions, but it's my first step. Gunther, the Ring General's first step to becoming WWE champion. He then turns around and Drew McIntyre's there. He goes, hey, big man. I hate to win a rupture at a time like this, but just stay on my way tonight. And Gunnar goes, Drew McIntyre, I'm sorry, but the Ring General cannot be controlled. Especially not by somebody who has the ultimate prize in this sport, the ultimate prize that I want. Drew goes, look, I'll tell you what. I don't like you. I don't like these guys. And you don't like me. These guys probably don't like me either. But what I do like is power. What I do like is sitting on top of this division knowing that's where I belong, Kunter. You'd know, you've been there. So tonight, I've got the chance to cement myself as the scariest man here on Raw. When I kick the heads off Xavier Woods and his New Day friends, and even Cody Rhodes too, if he thinks he's getting my title back. Just need to make sure you're not going to mess things up. And Gunnar goes, why did I mess things up? Huh? This is a big 6-man tag team match for me too, huh? Why don't I mess things up, Drew McIntyre? Do you think you're that much of an egomaniac? I'll get in the ring and I'll do what Imperium does best. And you better stay in line. So yeah, obvious tensions between these two heading into tonight's 8-man tag team main event. Let's see if Cody and the New Day have such issues later on tonight. We then come back to the ring, and Grayson Waller's in there, and he's going, alright, well, last week, lad, I put Sheamus, that big dumb idiot's bodyguard, Ridge Holland, in the dirt, lad. You know, and that was the first step of many that Grayson Waller's going to go on to give that Intercontinental Championship the Grayson Waller rub. So now, Sheamus, mate, lad, you put your heart and soul into becoming champion. It took you, 15 years? It's going to take Grayson Waller 1. Get your dumb ass out here and let's organise this match. Sheamus comes out and he goes, you're right, fella, I did say last week, you beat Rage when I wasn't around, fair play, fella. Ridge is a tough little cookie, but he's nothing compared to me. And as much as I'd love to give you the shot at Intercontinental Championship and kick your head off and shut you up for good, I can't just do that, fella. You gotta prove that you're championship material. So next week, how about we have ourselves a tag team match? Me and my pal Ridge the Fridge against you and your supposed best mate, Dirty Dom. And if you can win that match, then I'll give you a shot at me title at Halloween Havoc. Because, me and Dirty Dom teaming up next week to beat you two, and then I'll get an IC title match. Where's the challenge, lad? That sounds the easiest goal of my life. I'll see you there next week. Make sure to bring your friend, because I'll bring mine. Then come backstage to Cody and the New Day. Cody's in his suit. He's just there trying to hold back laughter as the New Day do the New Day thing. He goes, Cody Rhodes, tonight you may be the American Nightmare, but tonight that nightmare doesn't start at night. No, it starts at the day, the New Day. Because we got Imperium. We got Drew McIntyre. But they've got nothing compared to us. The New Day and the American Nightmare. Cody goes, boys, I've known all three of you a long time. It's great to have you on my side here tonight. Because I think tonight, the four of us, we're going to produce magic in that ring. We're going to blow everyone out of the water. And we're going to prove why we are, individually and together, four of the top stars here on Monday Night Raw. .70 rating, that's fine, yeah. Sort of return tag team match for the House of Black. Alistair and Brody King defeat Alex Coughlin and Gabe Kidd in 6:57. Alistair pins Coughlin with a black mass. 74 for Brody King, 86 for Alistair Black, 55 for Gabriel Kidd, and a 52 for Alex Coughlin. Sure. 70 for that, because it wasn't incredibly long either, is fine. But then after the match, they're standing tall. When the Cyclone rush out from, the darkness into the spotlight and take him down. Ricochet takes down Alistair. Bronson takes down Brody King, obviously. And they fight back. Them and the House of Black fight for a bit. Ricochet shins Alistair, package to the outside. Probably does a dive on him of some sort as well. Then him and Bronson Reed take Brody King down. Bronson Reed goes up top. He goes to hit the Tsunami, but Brody King sort of rolls away. And him and Alistair Black retreat. I was going to do the lights off gimmick, but I don't want to make it too gimmicky because that's basically just Undertaker, especially in WWE. So, yeah. I don't want to make him too supernatural. He's just a weird, dark cult guy. So, we can physically see him roll away. It's fine. It doesn't damage his mystique. We then cut backstage. Charlotte's pissy. She goes, really, girls? Huh? Really? Sasha and Bayley? What is this, 2019? Okay, those girls haven't liked each other for, 2-3 years? And you can't even beat them. You're supposed to be the royal dynasty. You're supposed to be second generation of stars here in WWE. And now you're looking more like losers. Okay. So, I have championship aspirations on my side. It's up to you two to figure out what you want to do. And Charlotte walks off. Ava just sort of like side eyes Ariana Grace. And Ariana stands up. She goes, Ahem. I think that we have been tasked with a great, great opportunity on our hands, Ava. You see, Charlotte Flair, the Queen, she's very angry at us right now. But fear not, because failure is all relative to how successful you're going to become in the future. And in the future, if we become successful, then is the failure today really a failure, or is it just a learning step? And Charlotte walks back in, so like looks at her like confused and goes, "What are you? I liked you better when you said nothing." And then just walks off. And Ariana Grace awkwardly just grinning, nodding her head. And Ava Rain's just like, oh, what the hell. 77? That's a banger. Another huge win for Slim Shanky and R-Truth, defeating LA Extreme's Roosh and Santos Escobar when Slim Shanky pins Roosh in 12:54. That Shanky push, it's real, brother. Here he comes. 62 for Truth, 49 for Shanky, 70 for Santos, and that's 81 for Roosh. And yeah, just another win for Titus World Records, because I have to commit to making them champions. Because, you know, goal. I say champions because I was like, oh, actually, no, does it have to be a champion? But Truth specifically. I don't know about Shanky. But I know for a fact there's a goal for Truth to be a champion. It is in 24/7 title. So, but I don't know if that's got a deadline on it. But he's also declining, so, you know, that also has to kind of be relatively soon as well. So, yeah, we have to get these boys ready in 2 months before the Shanky goal expires. Then cut from that, AJ and Styles and Finn Balor are with Kathy Kelly. She goes, I spoke to Shanky and R-Truth and Titus World Records earlier on tonight about last week's major upset when they pinned the OG leaders, AJ Styles and Finn Balor. Now joining me now are the aforementioned AJ and Finn. What are your thoughts on last week's shocking defeat? And AJ goes, it happens, Kathy. Okay, nobody's perfect. Nobody's record is spotless. Okay? So, last week, we messed up. We took those Titus World Record boys lightly, and we ended up paying the price for it. But doesn't mean that, you know, we're over the hill. Doesn't mean that me and Finn are going to stop being a team. Because we've still got tag team titles we need to get back. So, we're throwing our names in this mix. This tag team division keeps heating up here tonight. But you got one more team right here, ready to join it all. Then DIY walk in. There you go, one more team, huh? One. You say one more team, AJ? I think that's false, Johnny, because, well, DIY are ready for their next opportunity to become the Raw Tag Team Champions. And if you guys are free next week, and you're also looking for a chance to become the Tag Team Champions, why don't we have AJ Styles and Finn Balor taking on Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa in a tag team match? Finn goes, you're on. See you next week, boys. So yeah, AJ and Finn against Johnny and Ciampa. The Raw Tag Team division, in terms of teams, has the most firepower in it. So I try and get as many of them on the show I can every week. Which has in turn led to DIY's gimmick to sort of, for the minute, just being walking up to people backstage and going, we want to wrestle you. But the DIY story is more of a long-term end goal, and we're sort of in filler arc right now, so yeah. Speaking of filler arc, Logan Paul, we get clips of him either training for or highlights from his fight here on Raw, because I don't know if it would have happened by week 2 October, whichever one fits the narrative, but it will have happened come next week's episode of Raw. And guess who's going to be here next week? Fresh off his boxing victory. Why, the Maverick himself, Mr. Logan Paul. We then see the My Wrestling Academia boys in Gorilla, all of them, even Sensei's here this week, No cruiserweight. Actually, no, I think Sensei does have a cruiserweight title match coming up against Dante Rios, but it's not this week. So, yeah, Sensei's shilling as well. And he goes, Sensei, I know you've been off busy doing champ stuff, but don't worry, you're not going to be the only champion in the group soon, because myself and Dio are going to become the Raw Tag Team Champions. Sarray and Zelina, they're going to become the Women's Tag Team Champions after their Fire debut takes place up next. And then, maybe after that, we can find out what's going on with this whole pendant thing. Sensei goes, oh yeah, I sort of forgot about that. The champ life again to my head. I've been sort of, focused on actually defending my belt. I forgot we actually had a mission here. Dio goes, how could you forget that, Sensei? It's the most important thing on earth. Joe Gacy's been... I don't know if you've been watching the show. Joe Gacy's been back, and he says he knows who has the pendant. And we think it's him. We think he's going to get the pendant back, so, we better hurry. Sensei goes, Gacy? I won't worry about Gacy. And Sarray walks in. No, oh yeah, Sarray does walk in, actually. And she's got her new ring gear on, her new tag team gear. And she goes, how do I look? And then Mandy goes, it's excellent. Sarray, it looks great on you. I mean, it looks great in general. It looks great. Anyway, yes. Fantastic gear, you're going to do great in your tag team match tonight. Goodbye. And Sarray goes, well, Zelina's not even here yet, Manny. She goes, of course, yes. And Dio goes, where is Zelina? And she goes, I don't want to come out. And Dio goes, why? And Zelina goes, I don't like it. Manny goes, well, what's not to like? It's wrestling gear. And she goes, yeah, but it's not me. And Dio goes, I'm sure you look fine. Just come out. Zelina walks out. She's dressed basically in the exact same gear that Sarray wears. And then she looks at him and she goes, don't. She's probably got the flip-flop in her hand and points at him and goes, don't laugh. And everyone's like, why would we laugh? It looks great. You look like a proper tag team. She goes, maybe it'll warm on me. Maybe if we're winning out there in the ring, I'll find it fine. Let's go, Sarray. And Zelina and Sarray walk out for the tag team match. And Dio just goes, ooh, poor boys. Zelina Vega. And Manny goes, Dio, what's the matter with you? 78 rated tag team match. Sarray and Zelina get a win in their tag team debut. They defeat Double Trouble. Zelina pins Anne-Marie Porter with a cutter. Probably the Code Red, actually, whatever she'd call that, some anime-ified name for it. A 73 for Zelina Vega, 63 for Sarray, 67 for Kelsey Cook, and a 73 for Anne-Marie. Basically, no, not quite spot on, because the other team was 4 ahead, because, yeah, I can do maths. But after the match, we hear clapping over the Tron. Joe Gacy, Alexa, and Nikki are on the screen. He goes, congratulations, girls. It seems you two really seem to click here tonight. Well, don't worry, because our little group, our clique, has been clicking for a long time. Hence, we have what you're looking for. And Manny goes, the pendant? You have the... He goes, oh no, silly. We don't have that. We know where it is, but we don't have it. Okay, you're welcome to that, Manny, because, quite frankly, it keeps us out of trouble. And it will spell the end of My Wrestling Academia as we know it, if the pendant stays where it is now. I was talking about the Women's Tag Team Championships. And next to Nikki sort of waved the titles on the screen. She goes, so, I've just had a great idea. Okay, so, I got my fun little playground. Nikki, she's weird and creepy. And those two, dressing up. How about we defend these titles against Zelina Vega and Sarray at my playground at Halloween Havoc? And Nikki goes, come on, girls. Trick or treat. Trick or treat. It's a trick. You're the treat. And they sort of look at each other like, fine. Okay, title match after one win. We'll fucking fight you. Sure. Okay. But if we win, you gotta promise us something. And he goes, what is that? And Zelina goes, can't believe I'm... You'll tell us where this pendant thing is. Gacy goes, oh, it would be my pleasure. They shut the screen off. We then cut backstage. Otis is there. And then in walks Chad Gable and Anthony Ogogo. And he goes, Otis, there's my number one guy. You know, ever since, the Alpha Academy went their separate ways, I never had any hard feelings towards my number one guy, Otis. I've been watching you from afar, making moves, You and Brooks Jensen were going places. I'm sorry to see that it ended the way it did. But I'm a changed man now, Otis. Okay, and I'm here to avenge you. Those pretty deadly boys, that Brooks Jensen and that Tanya, ain't gonna know what hit them when they get hit by the bronze hands of Anthony Ogogo and the golden brain of Chad Gable. Thank you. Then Mackie goes, shush, shush, shush. And then Gable goes, actually, it's shush. And Mackie goes, and he goes, anyway, I've just spoke to Batista. And Otis, it's great news, because you see, we've got this Cyber Sunday coming up. They say, in Vegas, nobody has any control. And the control for Cyber Sunday goes to the WWE Universe. And guess what? The first match we have set for Cyber Sunday is, Otis, you will face Brooks Jensen. But nah, that's not all. You see, because Master Gable, he's a strategist to say we've got to give the fans something to choose. So either the match will be Otis versus Brooks Jensen. It will be Otis and Mackie against Brooks Jensen and Tonya Breeze. Or it will be Tonya Breeze, Brooks Jensen, and those pretty deadly boys taking on Otis, Mackie, and two rock-solid Olympians. Thank you. Cast your vote on the Connell TEW community page when the polls go up, which will probably be either a couple of hours or a day after this show goes live, because that way he can counter and take all the votes in without having to stop ahead of uploading Cyber Sunday, because all the votes should be cast by the time the show is ready to record, instead of doing it on an external link. Thank you. Gable and Ogogo walk out, and it was a Mackie just go, what did he just say about... Oh, well, never mind. So yes, our very own Meta Chad Gable. How I'm going to do Cyber Sunday votes this year, instead of doing like... Well, I would link a survey website thing for you all to vote on, but that would take like a couple of days for me to get my answers in. What I will do is, as soon as a match gets announced, either a couple of hours or a day later, I'll put a community post up, and I will put it in the comments every couple of days late as well. But we'll take you to a poll to vote on the community page for who should wrestle and what, like the Cyber Sunday votes, because that way I can just smash them out, leave them up there, and then once I get to Cyber Sunday, I'll have enough of a pool to, immediately jump straight in. In actual kayfabe, he would have explained like how to vote on the Cyber Sunday polls, but it's not real life, so I had to break the fourth wall. The match goes an 80. Gable and Ogogo do defeat Pretty Deadly. Because Otis and Mackie do run out. Brooks Jensen and Tonya are at ringside. Again, it says they attack Pretty Deadly, but that's not technically true. They distract them by attacking Tonya and Brooks at ringside, which allows Gable to apparently pin Elton Prince for Chaos Theory. 63 for Kit, 58 for Elton, 52 for Anthony Ogogo, and 92 for Chad Gable. And yeah, big win for... Well, not really a big win for Chad Gable and Ogogo, because it's Pretty Deadly. And as much as they may rule and they may be the best tag team on Earth, it's not really a big win. We then cut backstage. Batista stood there with the Women's World Champion like a pre-tape or whatever. And he goes, good evening. It's Dave Batista, the Raw General Manager here, and as you just heard, Cyber Sunday is coming to Las Vegas in 3 weeks' time, where the power will be in the hands of you, the WWE Universe. Now, as you saw with the opening segment tonight and later on, the women's division here on Raw has been heating up in recent weeks. following Rhea Ripley's championship victory and the return of 3 of our top stars to the division. So here is the situation regarding this WWE Women's Championship. In 2 weeks' time, at Halloween Havoc, Rhea Ripley will defend the WWE Women's Championship against the woman she's had some issues with the last 2 weeks, Shayna Baszler. And then, whichever woman comes out on top in that match, be it Shayna or Rhea, will defend the championship again in Las Vegas at Cyber Sunday against one of the 3 women who you will decide challenges for the WWE Women's Championship. Will it be Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, or Bayley? The power is up to you. That's Cyber Sunday, though. Next week is, an episode of... It's one of the episodes of Raw of all time. We've got AJ Styles and Finn Balor of the OG Leaders taking on DIY's Ciampa and Johnny Gargano after their brief interaction backstage earlier on tonight. The tag team division is pretty stacked here, and who knows what's coming up next for Cyber Sunday. But another tag team match taking place next week will see Sheamus teaming with his boy Ridge the Fridge Holland to take on Grayson Waller, the loudmouth Aussie, and his self-proclaimed best friend in the whole world, Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Plus, we have the return of the Maverick himself, Logan Paul, fresh after his victory over Dylan Dennis in that prime boxing fight. The Maverick will be here next week. Moving on from that, though, we do have our first graphic for Cyber Sunday. It's going to be Otis will take on Brooks Jensen on the show. And here are the options for that match. It will either be Otis against Brooks Jensen one-on-one with, everybody banned from ringside. It will be Otis and Mackie taking on Brooks Jensen and Tanya Breeze. Or it will be Otis, Mackie, Chad Gable, and Anthony Ogogo taking on the entire Maximum Male Models consortium, being Brooks Jensen, Tanya Breeze, and Pretty Deadly. You take your pick of who it's going to be, and I also don't have the graphic for it because it's not finalised yet, but whoever the WWE Women's Champion is will defend against either Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, or Bayley at Cyber Sunday. I'll probably put the poll up now, but I don't have the graphic because, we don't know who the champion's going to be. 95. I was expecting a lot less from this because it is overbooked. But again, overbooked matches do fucking rule, as I've said a lot. So yeah, 95 does check out. It's Cody Rhodes and the New Day against Gunther, Giovanni Vinci, Ludwig Kaiser, and Drew McIntyre. The WWE Champion, Drew McIntyre, that is. And there are a lot of moving parts in this match because the main WWE Championship feud right now is technically Drew McIntyre versus Xavier Woods, because he won that 4-way, but Cody is still kind of beefing with Drew on the side of also beefing with Christian. Gunther is also sort of side beefing with the New Day, and also still kind of wanting that WWE Championship that he's wanted for a while. Plus you've got, the tag team champions being involved, which, a lot of teams want those. So, here's how the end plays out. It's chaotic. We do see Dijak and Christian come out. 24/7 champion Christian, it's actually Dijak, and Dijak come out and probably, just to try and distract Cody and attack him. But also, to counter the odds, Manny and Dio, Sensei and Reggie and all them of My Wrestling Academia also do run out. And they take down the tag team champions. The rest of all 3 members of the New Day wipe out Gunther on the outside. And that leaves just Cody Rhodes. And Drew McIntyre in the ring after Christian's also been taken care of. Drew goes for a Claymore. Cody ducks it. He hits Crossroads. And Cody Rhodes pins the WWE Champion. Well. 87 for Xavier Woods. 77 for Kofi Kingston. 87 for Big E. 90 for Cody Rhodes. 82 for Ludwig Kaiser. 87 for Giovanni Vinci. 93 for Gunther. And then 88 for Drew McIntyre. Banger. Yes. Those are all very good ratings. And then, to just get a fun end of the show, all the babyfaces out there, so, New Day, Cody, and the Anime Boys, Specifically, there'd be some sort of fun interaction with like Cody raising Sensei's arm because Cody Rhodes did train Kid Bandit. So yeah, there's a thing. But yes, the crowd gets home happy as a gaggle of like 10 baby faces gather in the ring after Cody Rhodes pins that dastardly WWE champion to end the night. And then it's announced that at the Halloween Havoc episode of Raw, Xavier Woods will face Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. And that ends Raw, which gets us a 92. I feel like every Raw is 92 recently. But yeah, that's fine. What matters was my Q4 of the show. And I'll see you on the other side for, I think it's the penultimate matches of the B block of the Mae Young Classic. Because I believe we've got the special on Sunday that will feature the last matches of each block. But I will have to double check. I was right about this being the penultimate matches of the B block. So yeah, we do just have the final round of the A and B blocks to go at the Mae Young Classic special. I will go over the brackets at the end of the show just to, catch you up on that. But the opening match here does see Sol Ruca pick up the win over Zoe Stark in 15:29 with the Soul Snatcher. 48 for Sol, 41 for Zoe. They don't care about either woman apparently, which is why it only gets a 35. But even then, a 35, given nobody cares about these people, is still pretty good. Sol gets a new, very good gimmick. Very marketable, boost of star quality. Okay, good for her. Let's go, dub. 34 is the next match. Dinged for the same reason, the pre-show matches. We don't care about these people, ding. Saya Kamatani does defeat Anya Bogmalov. Given the standings, it's actually kind of an upset. I think Saya was on 2 points and Anya was on 6. So yeah. She wins with a running shooting star press in 10:57. 44 for Anya, 45 for Saya. And there's another gimmick change to do here. Russian Badass gets adequate. Okay. Sure. And they get a 45, which genuinely might be the best we don't care about either of these women, let's ding the match rating I've ever gotten. Mayu defeats Erin Angel in 12:22 with a diving double foot stomp. 63 for Mayu Iwatani, 51 for Erin Angel. And yeah, that's that. Becky's not on this week because Becky did wrestle on SmackDown last week, so that was her, I guess, obligated match recently. So we do just move straight on to the main event, which is the last match for today, which is Hannah Coleman against Fabi Apache. 11:39, Hannah Coleman does pick up the win with a set-out facebuster. 68 for Hannah Coleman, 42 for Fabi Apache. They have great chemistry, which is, always fun. And that does end Heat. That does end the penultimate. This is the last episode of Heat, actually, with Mae Young Classic matches on it. The next week's Heat tournament will be over. Well, not over, because actually I don't know where I'm going to do the finals. I probably better agree to that decision right now. I'll either do them on the special itself, or next week's Heat will have the semi-finals, and then the final will be at High Voltage. I haven't decided. But I'm leaning towards just doing it all in one. Doing the last A and B block matches, the A and B block semi-finals, and then the final all on one event on Sunday. Like a super-sized Mae Young Classic special. Yeah, that'll probably will be the play, actually, yeah. Because putting it on an ECW pay-per-view seems silly. Because, they're not ECW women. But anyway, that ends the show. Show gets us a 54. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the end of Heat. Do let me know your thought in the comments below. And I'll see you next time for ECW. See you then.